Now, after more than 44 years in music, Gary Numan is heading on tour, and it's no surprise with hits like these. Well, Gary joins me now. So good to see you.
Thank you.
Finally, Intruder, you can go on tour.
Yeah.
You can do all of these things, because everything was put on hold, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's the first album I've ever put out that you couldn't tour it when it came out. So the whole thing feels fragmented.
Of course, very frustrating.
Yeah,
You've just come back from the States. How was that?
We did a 6-week tour.
Wow.
I got COVID in the middle of it.
Oh, God.
So it could have been a catastrophe, actually, but yeah, luckily we got it together and we finished the tour. And the dates that we missed, we put to later in the year, so it's going to be okay. But
it'll be fine.
Yeah, it was everything you didn't want to happen.
Right.
It was great fun. It was good doing it again.
You still managed it.
Yeah.
You're going to be playing Wembley. Now, that's astonishing, because you said bye-bye to Wembley, in the early 80s?
81, yeah.
81, you said, well, that's it then, folks. Thanks a bunch. Who would have thought that you'd be back?
Yeah.
No, isn't that amazing?
Yeah, one of the biggest mistakes I ever made, that was. I guess I got successful in 79.
Yeah.
And I just didn't take to it very well. It wasn't what I expected. I was very childish, and I think I'd looked at the pop stars that I loved and the life that they had, and I just thought it would actually be like that.
Right.
And it wasn't quite. And I was struggling with it, and I ran away, really. I just wanted to get away from it.
Too much?
Yeah.
Overwhelming?
Yeah. And it was a good decision to just back away for a little bit.
Yeah.
But saying I was going to do that was a mistake. I should have just done it. Just stepped back, got myself together. I just wanted it to be like a hobby again, and it had all become it was mental, and I didn't like it. Anyway, so do Wembley, say right, I'm out, and then finish the third night and just realised I'd made a terrible mistake, and I was in it. Yeah.
So you'd already said that was the thing.
Yeah.
I was astounded to find, because I obviously watched you, Top of the Pops, those songs, we danced to those, they were incredible music. But I just thought you were the coolest thing. I didn't think that you were shy. I was amazed to find out you were shy. I thought you were full of confidence when you performed. No,
well, I still am really shy. It's a weird thing. I've done it forever now. I've been 40 odd years. So it's as natural now as having a drink. So it's not a problem anymore. But to begin with, it really, really was. And my dad said to me once, because I was so frightened of doing even little clubs and things like that, I couldn't speak, but like a day or 2 days before, it's terrible. And he said, if you can't find a way of dealing with that, then this is a bad career choice.
Absolutely.
Which is very true. And so I decided to start using images and personas and hiding behind that. And I did that for a while, and that helped. And I don't need to do that anymore, but I still do the image thing once in a while.
And I know that Gemma, your wife, has helped you enormously with confidence. Obviously you've got 3 children together. You really have found your soulmate. Yes. That doesn't happen to everyone, does it?
No,
You're lucky in that.
No, it's 30 years this year we've been together. So that was a good decision.
That was a very, very good decision. That really was. Now your girls, it's Persia, Raven and Echo, your girls.
Yeah, Raven's the oldest, then Persia, then Echo.
Yeah, and they work with you. They're very creative young women, aren't they? And they've been with you on videos and hopefully maybe joining you on stage. They've been doing all of that.
Yeah, well, Persia started. Persia sang on the last album on one song, did video for that. Did about maybe 50 shows when we were touring the last record. On this one, Persia and Raven are singing on the album. Echo, the youngest one, wrote a poem a few years back, actually, called Earth, which was about the Earth speaking to the other planets as to how horrible people were and all the damage that we were doing. And I read that, and that gave me the idea for Intruder, the album that's out now.
So she really sparked that?
Yeah, I just stole the idea.
No, it's really good. Things that your children teach you.
Yeah, it was just such a lovely way of seeing it. The whole climate change thing from her young point of view was about how the Earth was suffering. you know, and I just thought that was lovely. So stole that, and the whole thing sparked from that poem that she wrote, and then the other two sang on the record. Persia and Raven sang on it, but Persia co-wrote a song on it called "A Black Sun," which is probably one of the best songs on it. Raven writes songs all the time. I think she's up to about 70 now. During the pandemic, she just threw herself into music. So they're all heading in an interesting direction. So I'm very proud of them.
Oh, it's fantastic. And Gemma chose their names.
Yes.
She chose their first names. You got their middle names.
Oh, well, if a woman carries a baby for 9 months, the least a man can do is say, you can choose the name.
Yeah.
You know, at what point do you sort of step in and start taking over? It's disgusting. So yeah, she chose all the names. And I'm glad she did, because they're interesting names.
But as I said, your girls are very, very creative. Of course, they've grown up in a house where music is always playing. It's always there. You know, it's kind of inevitable in a way that they'd want to.
Well, funny enough, I don't listen to music at all.
Do you not?
I haven't ever.
You listen to your own, surely.
No. Ooh. No, it's just, that's the last thing you do. Unless I'm touring, I've got to remind myself.
Of course.
How to go. No, the kids play music all the time.
Yeah.
And I often run into their rooms and say, what's that? That sounds great.
You see,
so I'm getting fed.
That's really good. And I mean, it works both ways, because you've been a massive influence on other artists like Prince, like Lady Gaga, like so many others. And that must be really satisfying to you, to think that you've sparked creativity in other people.
Yeah, no, it's lovely. It's amazing. And I'm really grateful that people say that sort of stuff, you know. But you don't think of yourself that way. You know, when I go into the bathroom in the morning, I don't look in the mirror and go, oh, hello, legend. What's the state of that? Yeah. And I know what I'm thinking about is I'm nervous because I've got to go in the studio that day, and I'm worried I'm not going to come up with ideas. And so it doesn't actually change the way you feel about yourself. But I know it's really good. I know it's a good thing. And you know, credibility is very valuable. So I'm very grateful for it. But it really doesn't change the way you feel about yourself. I'm as nervous and frightened now as I was when I started. Worse, if anything.
Really?
Yeah. You never know. I've had periods where I didn't do so well and the songwriting wasn't so good.
Right.
And so you can go through these low spells. You know, things are good again at the moment, but you don't know how long that's going to last. Next album might be rubbish. You just don't know. So I worry about that.
Right.
You know, so I've lost it all before, and I wouldn't.
But that's why you're enjoying it so much now. You know, because that's the thing. That's why, and so you should, because you've got Wembley to look forward to. It's May the 7th.
May 7th.
May 7th, Wembley, and then all over the country.
Yeah, and then to Europe after that.
Yeah. Gosh, you never stop. You never stop. But at least you've got the girls with you. You've got your family with you all the time. So that's fantastic.
Yeah, most of the time.
Yeah.
Apart from school,
It's so good to see you. It really is. Thank you for all those great songs and all those great memories, and keep making new ones. Keep making new ones.
You.
Absolutely. Gary's UK tour kicks off on the 28th of April in Cardiff, and then the big Wembley date on the 7th. Thank you.
Thank you
very much. Right, still to come before 10 o'clock this